Okay, hello everybody. Today's date is January 23rd, 2022, and my name is Leslie Williams, and I'm making this video at a wooded area that I call the 55th New HA area. And give me 1 second, I got to do a couple fast things here, and then I'm going to show you some visual props. As long as the perpetrators do not jam my other phone, which, by the way, that other phone is not in current service contract, thanks to Best Buy and what they pulled on July 4th, 2022. Hold on 1 second, please. Now, there's going to be some brief interruptions in this video, and I apologize ahead of time, and I'm going to have to talk fast in this video as well, due to time constraints. So please bear with me. Now, trust me when I say everything that is said in this video, could absolutely be massively expanded upon with supporting details and evidences, which would include videos, audio files, and pictorial attachments like snap screenshots and pictures. So trust me when I say what's exposed in this video, if I really got into it and included the aforementioned videos, snap screenshots, audio files, it could end up being a 4-hour-long video easily. Now, this video is being made just to kind of give a fast update, but it's mostly concerning recent events, and well, not really recent events, because if I start talking about those, then I'll get bogged down into that. Just bear with me, okay, folks? Now, I'm going to help you understand something about gang stalking. One, gang stalking is not stalking by the type of gangs you might first think of. Go to YouTube and type in gang stalking bullying on steroids, which is a news broadcast, as well as these. Here's 2 other YouTube titles, which are news broadcasts as well. Stalked in San Antonio, and San Diego mother thinks she's the victim of community stalking. So those 3 are 3 YouTube channels, YouTube titles that you can type in at YouTube. All 3 are news broadcasts. And so that you can witness that gang stalking is so bad that it's even recognized marginally by even local news broadcasts. You should also know this crime has been repeatedly covered on national radio shows, including ones I've been on. And, oh, absolutely, on numerous dates and different national radio shows, and hundreds of books are written about it. There's tens and tens of thousands of posts about this crime all over the internet. Tens and tens of thousands of victims are all over the internet every single day, posting what they're enduring, posting the educated knowledge about this crime. So you need to know that this crime is an epidemic in America. It is going on everywhere, in every neighborhood, town, city, county, and state in the United States, and it's also going on in other countries. So let me go ahead and just share some points here, some highlighted points related to the targeting of me. I don't do drugs at all. I do not drink alcohol at all. The only type of medication I take is allergy medicine. I got to take cough syrup because of what these little psychotic, demonic, mass-murdering filth are doing to me through directed energy weapons. And since I brought that up, I'm just going to go ahead and immediately show you some evidence concerning that. Oh, absolutely. So bear with me, okay? Now, remember what I said, though, already in this video. What you're seeing in this video, and what I'm detailing, what I'm stating in this video has got each statement's got massive details connected to it. And I cannot include those details, or otherwise it would end up being a very, very, very long video. This here is one of the books. Okay. So you can take a snap screenshot of that and then Google it. You can buy it on Amazon. I think it's only like $23. Now, everything exposed in this book are sub-crimes occurring to gang stalking victims. So in other words, they are affiliated crimes that are occurring to gang stalking victim. And this doctor, by the way, Dr. Hildegard Staninger, has helped many victims through the testing protocols that she has given, including in conjunction with the work of Melinda Kidder from Columbian Investigations. This is one book of hundreds, okay, that expose the crimes of gang stalking. Now, let me show you this picture right here. And I know if you don't know anything about this crime, what you're hearing and what you're witnessing is going to sound bizarre to you. It's going to sound science fiction. But, you know, and that's why I made the statements that I've already made. So you can sit back and say, hey, look, I mean, she's not only given us dialogue, but she's also given us evidence. She's also, through the dialogue, sharing with you the fact, well, concerning what I've already stated. I mean, tens of thousands of posts. Do you think all victims are crazy? This right here is a picture, which was then snap screenshotted from the picture, which came from a video that was made live in real time at a wooded area off of Gilman Road in La Jolla, California on August 9th, 2022. And that video is in the YouTube account you're watching this video through, so look for the video dedicated to this account that's dated August 10th. And when you start seeing the blue waves come into the tent, you got to take back-to-back, non-stop, back-to-back consecutive snap screenshots so you can see where the energy waves ended up moving to. There's one of them right there going directly to the head. Okay? So, oh, absolutely. Now, what that is literally radio telemetry direct energy weapons. One beam is going to more than likely going to a transreceiver implant at the top of the head, right at the hairline. Okay, and what it does is that the tracker beam finds the transmitting signal of the transreceiver implant and latches onto it. It then directs the energy beam to go to it. And that's how they cook you alive from the inside out and much more. Let me get that Ann off my phone. Bear with me. Okay, so let me show you another one. And then this is how it looked like before it reached the head. Do you see how, let me zoom in on it so you can see a little bit better. Do you see how it starts splitting off into two, okay, waveforms? Now this is what it looked like when it was coming through the tent. And then as it proceeded towards the head, it stretched out into two separate beams, which is what you just saw. Oh, absolutely. Now, when you watch that video, that's why you got to take back-to-back consecutive snap screenshots, because these waves are moving so fast. That's why they look different at different time segments within the video. Oh, absolutely. This right here is the same type of waves attempting to hit my tent as I was in it 2 days later on August 11th. That video is uploaded on August 13th. So you got to do the same thing when you bring that video up. And the reason what you're seeing now, which is kind of like, oh, wait a minute, hold it. Let me bring it up, see if I can bring up one that's a little bit more clear. Bear with me. What you're seeing now is that, do you see this type of metallic material? Which, by the way, there's videos online showing doctors who are being targeted who got PhD in physics using the same type of metallic material to protect them. Now, this right here is another attack that they attempted on August 11th, 2022 at the very same exact identical to a T spot that I was sitting in when I got attacked on August 11th, 2 days prior. Okay, I was sitting at the same spot in my tent. The tent was sitting at the same spot. This occurred 2 days later on August 11th. On this date, though, I had this type of metallic material rested on the outside of the wall. So here's the wall of the tent. And so if you were to get up and get outside the tent, which is what I did, I got up, got outside the tent, and I rested this type of metallic material on the outside wall of the tent. So it was placed on the wall of the tent, but on the outside. And the energy collided in with it. You see it as a shady part right here because the video, this is a picture from that video from August 11th. And so I was inside the tent as I was making the video. So you see it as an outline, okay? So when they tried to get into the tent again using the same type of energy weapons, the energy collided in with the material and the material absorbed it and prevented it from coming in, which is why Gang Stalker, here's a better picture of it right there. So this is the outline of the material resting up against the wall, okay, on the outside of the tent, and there's the energy beam colliding in with it. So if I was to bring it up like this, I'm trying to get the right shading in here so you can see it better. You see it? So do you see it? Okay. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So, and I got a lot more evidence concerning being attacked by these wild, vile whores. Here's another one. I believe this is from the August 11th attack because they were also coming up from the roof of the tent. It was a simultaneous attack using at least 3 modes of operation: a drone, a neighbor's house, and a helicopter. And this is it coming up from the roof of the tent, going straight across the eyes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Here's another one where it shows it literally going right on the eye. right on the edge of the eye. Okay? So, since I had brought up, okay, and so here's a tweet with 4 of the pictures pasted in it. Okay, and so, now the main goal, the main reason why I decided to make this particular video was because, let me see if I can bring up a snap screenshot here real fast of the tweet that shows the YouTube link. If I can, it's no big deal. Just go into this YouTube account you're watching this video through and look at the videos. Here it is right here. So this is the August 9th, okay, evidence video, which is what the picture where you see the 2-pronged, okay, where you see the 2 beams. Okay, so when you bring that video up and you start seeing the energy move into the tent from the side wall, you'll see it come in from the roof too. On the August 11th, you hear a helicopter approach, and then that's when the energy starts coming in through the roof. Okay. Oh, absolutely. So this right here, copy down this YouTube URL link, and there's the August 9th video uploaded on August 10th. It doesn't have a title inside the YouTube account that this video that it's attached within, which is the YouTube account you'll be watching this video through. And so, you got to take this back-to-back snap screenshots so you can see where the energy ends up at once it comes in the tent. There it is approaching the head, and then this is what it looks like once it gets very up close to the head. It's the same energy beam, okay? That's why the snap screenshots are necessary. That way you can see what's going on in the hood. This right here is a flyer that is on www.cybertorture.com. This is, even the UN has recognized gang stalking victims as being extreme torture victims. And this right here has to do with, the person holding their head and the sine waves. This is ultrasound, infrasound, directed energy weapons. Absolutely. So, and by the way, here's my eyes. These are the non-consensual biofilm, like crystal ocular eye lens implants that they put in my eyes, literally making my eyes a walking video camera. Okay? No joke. So what you want to do is you want to take a look at that, snap screenshot the hell out of it. Those are electromagnetic weapon boil bumps on the eyes that appeared on the eyes, on the surface of the eyes. It's water and eye fluid boil bumps. And that's because they heated up the brain and cooked the brain in the face for 22 straight hours. That event started on June 2nd, 2020 at a wooded area and segued into and continued at Vaughn's grocery store located on Regents Road and Arabia Street on June 3rd. I left there, went to UTC Mall, went to the bathroom, came out to wash my hands, looked in the mirror, noticed my eyes, made a Periscope video, and this is the snap screenshot from the Periscope video. Bring up that YouTube link, okay? All right, you bring up that YouTube link, and it's going to talk to you about some of the features and functions of these eye lens implants. And remember the book photo I showed you earlier? These types of eye lens implants are in this book. The book, the very first picture I showed you of the book, those eye lens implants are discussed in that book. Oh, absolutely. Now, one of the things that compelled me to make this video was because today, and then take a snap screenshot of this, I'll zoom in on it so it comes in more clearly, and what these are is just a bunch of different snap screenshots taken from the August 9th and August 11th, 2022 torture episode. Absolutely. I mean, these are vile whores that commit this crime. They're demonic, mass murdering, raping, gang raping animals. It's all they are. It's all they'll ever be. They're not going to be anything except for what they are right now. Okay? Mass murdering, raping, human trafficking, enslaving animals. Period. End of story. Okay? Oh, absolutely. They don't give 2 shits at all about what they do to any and all victims, but they do care about exposure. I look at it this way. It's a very simple, it's an extremely simple formula. And you as a human being can deduce this for yourself. Consider and think. Would you want murderers, rapists, gang rapists? Just hear me out. Would you want murderers, rapists, gang rapists, people that are involved in human trafficking and hundreds of other types of crimes, including Class A felonies, and misdemeanors of all types in your life, non-consensually, uninvited? Would you want those type of people in your life? Now, the average intelligent person, even an idiot, would say, hell no. Well, these people came into my life, okay? They weren't invited. No message was ever implied or inferred that they were welcome in my life. They intruded upon my life and have perpetrated this crime now. Well, let me just put it to you this way. The open community-based gang stalking started occurring towards me in Michigan in 2003. They are the ones who directly played a big role in all of the student loans that were taken out by me as a direct result of the influencing, the multiple different types of influencing through this crime. Now, I'm not going to go into all that because that's another 4-hour long video. Trust me. And, when I say I'm not going to go into that, but if I made a video considering you could totally understand, make no mistake about it. You would absolutely, thoroughly understand. Okay? No joke. Okay? Now, so when I make videos and when I do my online exposures, I only talk about what has happened to me since 2003. But make no mistake about it, and I've seen the exposures on the internet, massive amounts of victims. Once they become victims, then once they become long-term victims, I've seen their exposures on the internet say the same thing, that once they become long-term victims, they start and they go through all the experiences and the events and the numerous traumas and crimes. When you're victimized every single day, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, nonstop, every single day and night, nonstop, and combined with everything that they do against you between the community-based gang stalking, the direct energy weapons, the acoustic weapons, and everything else, the victims start looking back on their lives at least before the community-based gang stalking started, because that's usually the red flag that something's wrong is going on. Okay. And so I have seen massive amounts of posts on the internet where victims have said, geez, now that I got all this experience and massive educated knowledge, I can look back on my life and see this shit was going on years and years and years and years and years before the open community-based gang stalking was going on. Absolutely, because this crime is perpetrated in very unique ways. Oh, absolutely. So you can be suffering through this crime, a lot of covert sabotaging of your life for years on end, years and years on end, before the community-based gang stalking starts, which is usually the red flag that something's going on that shouldn't be. So let me get into the meat and potatoes concerning why I decided to make this video. And remember what I said. Trust me, I'm going to be making some other videos about this eventually that will expand on it more, that will show you the evidence that I'm going to be, that will back up evidence that will back up my statements. Now, in Michigan in 2008, I didn't discover gang stalking online until June 9, 2009. Okay? And when I discovered it online on June 9, 2009, it was literally like having an adult Christmas day. Okay? You know how excited kids get on Christmas? Well, it was one of the happiest days of my life because I finally had a name for all the things that I had been enduring since 2003. Okay? It was literally like Christmas. Okay? And then, so I hopped all over educating myself from that day forward and have been ever since then. Okay? So, I discovered it by its name on June 9, 2009 at the Bloomfield Hills Library in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, which is located on Telegraph Road and Lone Pine Road, okay, when I was there using their computers, okay? Now, that was the day I discovered the crime that I'd already been enduring since at least 2003, every single day and night, at every place I lived at, every place I went to, every place I went to and lived at from 2003 up, at least, okay? All right, now hold on a second. So now that I had a name for it, I can investigate it. And then I could also, at any time when I complained to the police, I could give them a name and say, hey, look, because gang stalking does a lot of things that they know you can't prove. Unless somebody admits something, which, by the way, since I've been out here in San Diego since August 2011, I've caught at least 6 different people openly admit on video and audio that they were put in my physical presence to engage in specific gang stalking applied techniques related to desensitization method. Absolutely. And I've got over 9,700 audio files showing individuals being propped up along all my routes every single day, everywhere I have went, everywhere I have went since 2011, repeating gang stalk and or gang stalker. Oh my God, suck my dick, suck the dick, suck on my dick, and stupid, sick, demonic bullshit like that, and other stuff, said identically, different people saying each word, yet they're said back to back. 9,700 audio files prove this. Everywhere I have fucking went, and 95% of everywhere I've lived. Now, in 2008, when I made an email in Michigan, it openly shows me in all my emails, all my blogs, all my online content in 4 states has been mutilated, censored, mutilated, things added in them that I did not write at all, forcing me to go back and scan over to see where they mutilated it at, forcing me to go back and scan over to see where they added things in I did not put in, trying to paint me as a social deviant. Oh, absolutely. And then every time I had to proofread it to find the mutilations and the add-ons that they put in there, I would then be forced to reprocess the identification of the victimizations. And that right there in itself is reported to be related to remote neural monitoring. Integration completion by Brian Tu and Robert Duncan. And that's a whole nother video. Oh, this is a massive crime, so you're just going to have to be patient with my exposures, okay? Hold on. I'm taking a break and smoking a cigarette while I'm talking to you, so bear with me, okay? So, in this 2008 email that I wrote in Michigan, on one of the pages of it, it's presented in my blog as a Gmail PDF file, and this current page I'm getting ready to talk to you about is the second page in the PDF file, even though it's not the second page of the email. But in this second page of the PDF file, what I did was, it shows on it a list of repeated words and phrases that were identically repeated outside of 3 apartment doors of 3 separate apartments that I rented between 2003 and lost because of this crime, intentionally lost because of this crime, between 2003 and 2010. Okay, so these 3 apartments, which is what I was renting, okay, I would hear constant, non-stop, constant, identical words and phrases being repeated outside my apartment door, okay, outside of these apartment doors in Michigan. Now, the 2008 email doesn't include what I endured in the 2009 and 10 apartment, but it was referring to the 2 prior apartments rented between 2003 and lost between 2003 and 2006. Okay, but the same exact identical statements were repeated outside my Tennessee door in an apartment in Tennessee. Now, the quick notations I'm making about this, and trust me, many more could be made, oh, absolutely, was it shows a table, like a list of the things that were heard. Oh my God was one of them, okay? Why don't you call the cops and get her out of here? She can't keep staying here. What's wrong with her? She sounds fucked up, okay? So what you want to do is pay attention to, oh my God, and why don't you call the cops and get her out of here, okay? Now, we all know as human beings that when we live in a house or an apartment or a mobile home, or even if you are down on your luck and have to live in a motel room, all human beings on this planet need shelter. Even the cavemen built their own, stayed in caves. The human body is aware that it's vulnerable to the elements. It's also vulnerable to people approaching you if you're homeless and doing God only knows what to you. Well, Gang Stalker knows all this. It knows that if you're homeless, you can be easily arrested by the police. It knows that if you're homeless, you can be easily assaulted. It knows that if you're homeless, it can easily steal your property. Okay? It also knows that if you're a woman and you're homeless, it leaves you subject to more violent attacks. Okay? And it also puts your life in massive disarray. It's hard. It can be very hard to keep structuring your life, even when you're homeless, even when you're not a gang stalking victim. Okay? Now, and so you ask anybody that's got the ability to engage in common sense and deductive reasoning and analytical processing and healthy reasoning, would you prefer to be homeless or would you prefer to have a home? And make no mistake about it, let me interject this as well. The demonic bitches, including the police, Google the police and gang stalking. All police and gang stalking, absolutely. That includes federal law enforcement, state, county, and local. And that includes security guards of security firms and anywhere security services are contracted. Google all the hell out of them to gang stalking. Oh, absolutely. I mean, the police are one of the main employment descriptions identified to be intimately, directly connected to this crime and intimately, massively connected to, implicated in hosting it at the federal, state, and local level. So, if you honestly think that a person who has went through what I've been through and what my other fellow gang stalking victims have went through, including through the police, don't have a right to expose them, then you just don't have enough information yet about this crime. Okay? So anyways, so when you're made homeless, when you're homeless to begin with, without being a gang stalking victim, it's an extremely trying. Oh, so let me go back to what I was going to state. I know I'm jumping around here a little bit, but I want to tie that statement off, because this crime is so massive and there's so many details involved in it. If you've been made homeless and you're a gang stalking victim, then the little bastards will turn around and act like they're coming to arrest you by offering you homeless services. Well, that's nothing but lying bullshit. They want you to go to a homeless shelter so they can then act all nice. They'll make it look all attractive. They'll say, yeah, we can set you up here, we can set you up there, we can get you connected with food banks, we can get you connected with food stamps, we can get you connected with the low income housing, we can get you connected with homeless or other homeless services, and that's done to get you to stay there and to sign the papers. And then once you sign the papers, they'll start gang stalking the fuck out of you using fellow homeless people that are there. And not only that, there's a lot, you got to remember, a lot of homeless people are involved in behaviors that they shouldn't be. There's a lot of violent felons in homeless shelters. There's drug addicts, there are alcoholics. And I'm not saying anything against, I'm not trying to demean these people by saying this, but what you need to understand is that if you are in the throes of those types of behaviors, you're more susceptible to be bought off and paid for by the demonic bitches who have access to them, and then therefore they are then more willing to do things against the gang stalking victim while the victim is there. And then the victim is harassed, gaslighted, property stolen, intimidated, given roommates that snore and act crazy to keep you up all night. Oh, absolutely, purposely, intentionally, purposely. This is all managed and maneuvered by the homeless shelter itself and the people that work there. Oh, absolutely. And they keep you up all night, so then that way you're like half asleep all during the day while you're being harassed all day and intimidated and mocked and even provoked physically. Oh, absolutely. Which also makes you more susceptible to neurological influencing through remote neural monitoring and voice to skull. So what they'll do is they'll bait you to go there under the guise of help to get you to sign the papers, and then they'll start harassing the fuck out of you, setting you up for staged assault, staged events, including staged events that lead the cops to coming so that they can then so they can continue to file false police reports about you, and then harass the fuck out of you too, where you just say, hey, look, I had more peace being by myself at a wooded area. This is literally how bad gang stalking is. Because remember, when they're making people homeless through this crime, they're not making them homeless because they're just saying, okay, we made you homeless, we're going to now walk away. They made you homeless because they're after you for illegal probate control schemes by claiming you're mentally ill, a threat to yourself or others, and or can't take care of yourself. And the cops play a big role in this because the police reports assist in the court documentations that lead to the illegal probate control schemes, which then lead to racketeering, insurance fraud schemes, inside of a group home you're put in, and stage videotaped rapes, which are then sold to pornography groups. Lifelong slavery. So don't tell me for a minute I don't know what this crime is about. You wouldn't believe what I witnessed in Michigan. Okay? Oh, absolutely. Okay? Absolutely. So, so this 2008 email, hold on, my cigarette went out, bear with me. Shows a column, a list of things that were nonstop repeated outside of two different apartments that were rented by me and lost because of this crime, intentionally causing me to lose the apartments between 2003 and 2006. Okay? Now, I heard them endlessly, all day, every day and night, nonstop. Okay? So, in 2008, which was before I discovered gang stalking by its name online on June 9, 2009, I was trying to log what I was enduring. And remember, they were mutilating all my emails and all my blogs. They were adding things in that I did not write while pretending to be me that wrote them. They're still doing that out here in San Diego. And they did it in Connecticut, and they did it in Tennessee, too. Absolutely. Every single thing I wrote in these little wild whores have been mutilated and put things in that I did not write. Absolutely. Okay, hold on, because they didn't think I'd survive. Okay? They figured they would get a hold of me. Hold on. So anyways, this list of stuff that I listed on one of the pages of the email, presented as page 2 in the Gmail PDF file on my blog, shows, oh my God, being one of the things that was nonstop repeated, And why don't you call the cops and get her out of here? Now, one of the additional main motives, main immediate motives of this crime is auditory and visual brain entrainment and creating hypervigilance and anxiety, stress, hypertension. Okay, because it wears down the mind, wears down the body, and it causes, and trust me, there's a whole lot of issues even connected to that. Trust me on that, okay? Oh, absolutely. You don't see it now because I'm not expanding on it, but trust me, if I did, you'd completely understand. So, when you're threatening to make someone homeless, just like when you say if you got a job and your job is your sole support, source of income, that you pay your rent and or your mortgage, and then you start hearing through the grapevine that people are getting laid off and you might be next, you're going to start experiencing massive anxiety. You got a family to take care of. You're worried about keeping a roof over your own head. Okay, you got to worry about putting gas in your car if you got a car, which most gang stalking victims don't because they stage vehicle accidents. Google all my statements. Oh, absolutely. Now remember, I said I was going to have to talk fast in this video, so bear with me. So, so this crime knows that when you're hearing, oh my God, that's done to create the startle response to get your attention. Okay, so you keep listening so that when you hear, so you're forced then to hear the additional shit that's repeated. Okay, oh my God is something that if you went on YouTube and you looked at the 9/11 videos of what happened on 9/11 when that catastrophe was going on, and you watch enough of those videos, you're going to be surprised how often you hear, oh my God. Because oh my God is always associated to danger, 99% of the time, no matter who's saying it or what the circumstances. Okay, like, oh my God, I can't believe that, or oh my God, look at that car accident, or oh my God, look at that guy hitting his kid. Okay, absolutely. Well, they already know this, which is why it was in part, which is why it was repeated. Okay, because oh my God, it excites the startle response. It gets your attention because they know the brain is hardwired in knowing that is related to something that's got usually connected to danger. So they repeat, oh my God, that gets your attention, and then the brain hears the following things that they nonstop repeat. Like, why don't you call the cops? When somebody claims that they're going to call the cops on you when you're not doing nothing wrong in your own apartment, you're still going to pay attention because your brain is looking for answers of why it's being said. So these are attention grabbers and attention keepers. Okay, while they're also threats, and the oh my God is related to usually danger. Okay, and then when you're enduring this nonstop every single fucking day, then you obviously know that you're being stalked and harassed, and that's danger in itself as well. So, looking at this email, written in 2008, and my blog proves I did not discover gang stalking online until June 9, 2009. So when you go to Google and you type in at Google the sensitization method of gang stalking, repeating words and phrases, repeating identical words and phrases, it's also connected, then you'll see that this is something that this crime does. Now, what is repeated around each victim might be different, but I have seen other videos where gang stalking, oh my God, was being repeated around victims when they were at universities. And I think I saw one time of when a victim was making a video at a bus stop or something. Okay? So, now, what's important about this? Because not just because of the fact that it was happening nonstop, and you couldn't block it out. Okay. Oh, absolutely. And this is just one thing they were doing. Okay, nonstop. They were doing a whole massive amount of other stuff nonstop every day as well. So then I came out here to San Diego, okay, in August of 2011. And let's now fast forward. And oh my God, it's been repeated along all my routes every single day, caught on 9,700 audio files. And each audio file shows it being said repeatedly, along with gang stalk. Okay, for a couple years they were saying, oh my God, weird and crazy. Well, they were doing that in Michigan along my routes. Absolutely. Okay, I heard weird and crazy outside my apartment doors too. Okay, before this 2008 email was made. Absolutely. And then they started adding the word gang stalk onto it. So they would say gang stalk, oh my God, gang stalk, oh my God. Then they started saying gang stalk, oh my God, and suck dick. Okay, caught on 9,700 audio files. Every single place I have went. Every single place. Libraries, coffee shops, grocery stores, restaurants, movie theaters, banks, post offices, the DMV. Every time I've been there. Social services, Social Security. It's been caught every single fucking place I've been. Every place I've been, including the courthouse, by the way. On all dates. All dates, everywhere I have went, it's been caught. And it's been caught on audio and video. And video at 95% of all wooded areas I've been to, that I've been forced to utilize, because back between 2011 and 2014, 15, maybe even a little bit of 16, I requested for SDPD on over 22 separate occasions for them to make police reports that I was being gang stalked, and they told me no right to my face each and every time. So I just got sick of it and fed up with it and gave up on it. I mean, come on, when you're told 22 on 22 different dates that they're not going to, even when you got video and audio evidence, okay, that you're being gang stalked, and they say no right to your face, well, it's obvious they're involved in it. It's obvious they don't give two shits about what you're going through. Okay? Oh, absolutely. So, absolutely. Anybody with two brain cells would deduce that. I mean, come on, folks. So remember in the 2008 email was written in Michigan about Michigan and what I was enduring in Michigan. And then in 2015, when I was in Rose Canyon, I was sitting by myself, and I heard eating, and you could not see me at all. You could not see me at all. Okay? And I was about 80 feet away from the trail in Rose Canyon, and I heard about 3 or 4 people go by and say, gang stalk, oh my God, why don't you call the police and get her out of here? So I tweeted about it. This occurred around 9:30 in the morning. So I put a tweet on Twitter about it, and I literally said on Twitter, people just walked by me and said, all right, hold on a second. People literally just walked by me and said, gang stalk, oh my God, why don't you call the cops and get her out of here? And so I tweeted it. And then later on that same day, this happened on Christmas Day, 2014. And so later on that same day, they sent me some text messages to the phone that I was using in that calendar year, regurgitating the same thing. Gang stalk, oh my God, we're going to call the cops and get her and have you arrested. Explain that to social services when you get arrested again. Okay? So I took snap screenshots of that. I got videos of the text messages in my blog. Absolutely. And in my MTS Gang Stalk, oh my God, Suck My DSTK YouTube playlist. Okay? That's got many videos in it showing this shit being said around me, and the video of the text messages. Okay? I got the text messages, snap screenshots hundreds of times, and they're in my Instagram account as well. So let's take a look at this. Oh my God has been caught being said on over 9,700 audio files out here in San Diego since August 2011, when I came to San Diego from Connecticut, went to Connecticut from Michigan in 2011. Okay? That was a 2008 email written in Michigan about apartments rented between 2003 and 2006. Okay? So take a look at what I'm saying and take a look at it closely. Repeating, oh my God, in Michigan, and threatening to call the cops on me and to have me evicted from my apartment in Michigan. Why don't you call the cops and get her out of here? And oh my God, it's clearly listed in a 2008 email. Clearly. Okay? You can't get any more clear than it being wrote in it like it is. Okay? Literally. And this is before I discovered gang stalking by its name online. So how can I be describing that they're doing something that gang stalking's doing without knowing that what I'm enduring is connected to gang stalking? And I can indisputably prove, that I did not know about gang stalking until June 9, 2009. So then I moved out here to San Diego in August of 2011 and have caught on 9,700 audio files. Oh my God, being repeated while gang stalk and suck dicks being repeated. And I got indisputable proof of those text messages. Think about it. I hear on Christmas morning, 2014, they go by me in Rose Canyon and say, gang stalk, oh my God, why don't you call the cops and get her out of here? Gang stalk, oh my God, why don't you call the cops and get her out of here? I tweeted it. When you tweet something on Twitter, it's got an electronic time and date stamp. I then took snap screenshots of the tweet too. Okay? Then later on that same day, they sent me text messages saying, we're calling the cops to have you arrested for illegal lodging. Explain that to social services when you get arrested again. I got a notary from 2006 that I made out here in San Diego when I was out here in San Diego between 1 and 38 days in 2006 that shows me stating that they were threatening my Social Security check. Well, when you threaten my social services benefits, you're threatening my survival. Same concept. Okay? Now, oh, absolutely. So, think about what I'm saying. The 2008 email says, oh my God, and why don't you call the cops and get her out of here? What was caught just on that day in Rose Canyon proves that 2008 email, and it proves that I was stalked from Michigan to Connecticut to San Diego in 2011. Now, so, I just got done going through about 30, 35 different microcards. Some of them are audio microcards from my tape recorder, and other ones are video cards that come from my phone. And I was going through them so I could write down, this is an audio microcard, this is a video microcard, by putting the microcards in the phone in order so I could bring them up through my through my files manager thing in order so I could see which one was which. Is this an audio microcard or is this a video microcard? And I ran across a video from the night of November 12th, 2021. Now, I was at a wooded area on November 12th, 2021, and I had spent the entire day packing. Okay? All right, hold on. I spent the entire day packing, and I was preparing to move. I was waiting until it got, I remember it like it was yesterday. I was waiting until it got dark out before I moved because I didn't want to give, if I would have left that area and got on Gilman Road and then walked to another area off of Gilman Road, they could prop up anybody, okay, to claim that they saw me coming out of the area and saw me going into another one. Because every single time I walked down Gilman Road, I was bombarded with gang stalking, color coding through vehicles, and people on bicycles, even people jogging. It was literally that bad. Color coding connected to gang stalking is directly also connected to the sensitization technique, right? Literally, which I can now also prove. Oh, that is going on big time. Oh, absolutely. So I said to myself, I'll spend the day packing, and then what I'll do is I'll have everything packed on my bike, everything packed in my duffel bag, everything packed in my backpack, so that right when it gets dark out, I can move, and then they won't have a normal appearing excuse to claim they saw me exiting. They won't have a normal appearing excuse to claim they saw me going into another wooded area because it would be dark out, okay? So I had everything packed, and I was literally just waiting. I had everything packed. Everything down to the last little itty-bitty thing. Everything was packed, and I was ready to go. The bike was packed. Everything was packed. And so it was about, memory serves me correctly, I think it was around 5 o'clock, 5:15. This is November, so it gets dark out around 5:15, 5:30 p.m. And everything was packed. Everything was packed. The only thing I had left to do was to get up and put the backpack on my bike and walk my bike. That's how packed I was. So it was around either 4:45 p.m. or 5 p.m. I had just got done packing everything, and the only thing I had left to do was wait till it got dark out, which was like 15, 20 minutes away. And then a van pulls up on the road, and a woman gets out, and I saw her. Now, I didn't say anything to her, and she couldn't physically see me physically. And so I brought the phone up immediately and made a video. And in the video, you hear her say, "I'm going to call the cops and have you arrested." Okay, now, when I was camping there at that spot, the spot where all my shit was packed up at was where my bike was at. And I was sitting right by my bike. When I was camping at that spot, my tent was where? Right next to my bike. And where was the tent door? Less than 2 inches from the bike. Okay? So every time, and I got videos showing the tent being up at that spot and where it was at, and probably some of those videos show the bike right behind me. Absolutely. So think about what I'm saying there. If that tent would have been up, and if I would have been, whether I was in it or not, where she pulled up at was right on the other side of the tent door. Just like Michigan. Okay? Threatening to call the cops right outside my apartment door. Okay? Literally. And I can prove that tent was there. Where it was at, and I can prove where I was at when I made the video when she showed up. Absolutely. So I just got done watching the video, and then when I heard the threats, because on the day of it myself, the day that it occurred, I didn't hear her say the threats because I was too busy talking in the video. And then after the video concluded and she left, I think it was going to be dark out within literally less than 6-7 minutes. So I just concluded the video, turned the phone off, and left, and never watched it. Well, today when I was going through all my video and audio files, in fact, it was the last one I had to go. It was literally the last one I had to go through. I brought it up, seen it, and opened it up and listened to it. And that's when I heard her threatening me. And that's what kind of compelled me to make this video. Now, before I started utilizing that general area, I was staying at an area way down the street, which I called the Octopus Tree location, because I give a code name. When I make videos at wooded areas, I don't verbalize exactly where I'm at for legal, strategic, and security purposes, because the videos are going to go online. It's not safe for a woman to be saying this is exactly where I'm at. So what I usually do is I'll give the wooded area a code name, or use a visual marker for it. And at this particular area that I'm referring to, that I call the Octopus Tree location, there was literally this big gigantic tree on it that literally looked like an octopus. I still got the pictures from the place. And I know it sounds funny, but just bear with me. This tree literally looked like a giant octopus. Oh my God. You know, I think there's probably a video or 2 or 3 in this YouTube account that shows it. And when you see it, you're going to say, okay, I can totally see why she called it the Octopus Tree location. So when I was there on at least 5 to 6 different dates, okay, at least 3 or 4 of those 5 to 6 different dates, I caught people in Periscope videos and all audio files on all dates repeating suck dick, gang stalking, oh my God, less than 40 feet away from me, directly parallel to me, directly on the other side of what? My tent door. When this crime makes you homeless, your tent is your home. Okay? So think about what I'm saying, folks. Think about what I'm saying. Okay? When you're living in a home in Michigan in 2008, and it's now 2023, when you're living in an apartment in Michigan, 2 separate apartments running between 2003 and 2006, okay? When you're living in them and then you start experiencing this, hundreds of times a day you're forced to hear it. Oh my God, why don't you call the cops and get her out of here? Along with the other described things in that list. So it's nonstop threats, nonstop anxiety, nonstop hypervigilance, because you can't make it stop. You're forced to hear it. At the same time, you're forced to endure it every day, nonstop, day in, day out, nonstop, every day and night. And then they make you homeless, and then they mock you as you're moving because they make you homeless. They will literally take responsibility for it, okay, buying through verbal statements that are said within earshot for you to hear. I told her we'd make her homeless. Okay, literally. It was literally that bad in Michigan. Okay, literally. Okay? So think about what I'm saying. Now, let's take a metaphorical look at something else here. Okay? When you got people who are criminals, okay, who will go and rob a bank, a McDonald's, a store, a restaurant, wherever, or a house, do you really think that as they're committing the crime, they're going to repeat, oh my God, gang stalk, suck dick, she sounds fucked up, whatever? This is the only crime that does this type of unique behavior. Okay? Gang stalking is the only type of crime that repeats identical words and phrases, including, it's widely also reported online, that identical words and phrases will be transmitted through voice to skull and holosonics and the audio spotlight and ELF broadcasting as well. Okay? Now, so it is the only crime that does this type of thing. So do you really honestly think that I just woke up one day and said to myself, I'm going to invent a very unique type of situation here, and then I'm going to describe it, and then find out years later it's something this crime does? And by the way, since I've been on Twitter since 2014, I've seen at least 4 different targets state that they're experiencing their neighbors threatening to call the cops on them. 2 of those stated that their neighbors are also threatening to have them evicted. Okay? No exaggeration at all. Okay? I've also got a tweet showing another victim from Ireland stating that when he was in a park, people were yelling identical shit for him to hear. Okay? So, absolutely. So, what you got to understand here is that this is a very uniquely perpetrated type of crime. Now, why they do this is for auditory entrainment and to create stress and hypervigilance, and that all in itself has got multiple motives that are very intrusive, very sophisticated. You might think it's just harassment to drive you crazy, to get you to move out. That's part of it, but that's a small part of it, okay? Absolutely. It's connected to auditory entrainment, and that's connected to remote neural monitoring. And I've already made some videos about it, and I'm going to be making other videos about auditory entrainment in the future. So anyways, now, so you really think about what I'm saying here. Just in this video alone, I have described to you at least 5 different additional things done in San Diego. 5 of many, actually, that openly expose people sitting and standing. Sometimes I was in my tent. They were standing directly parallel to the tent. less than 30 feet away at the Octopus Street location, repeating suck dick, oh my God, and gang stalk. Okay? Alright? 2 different occasions, I've caught the same property owner standing directly parallel to my tent, where my tents were, and saying gang stalk and threatening to call the cops. Okay? Now, this November 12th incident, I don't know if she was caught saying gang stalk, but I watched the video once, and then I minimized it, and then I brought it back up, and I could have swore I heard, oh my God, being said. Whether it was said by somebody she was with or somebody else, I don't know. Okay, so I got to go back and take a more thorough look at that. It could have actually been said in real time here at this location. I just mistook it for coming from the video. Who knows? But I want you to know this, my fellow American citizens. There is no way at all. It is mathematically completely impossible for this to be an accident. Because the Michigan emails were describing what gang stalking does before I knew what gang stalking was. So how can I get online and say, oh, this is something gang stalking does, so I'm going to claim it's happening to me? Why would I do that to begin with? Think about that. Okay? And my blog indisputably proves I didn't know about gang stalking until June 9, 2009. Right? So how can I be describing a very unique, specific type of crime perpetrated in a very unique, specific, yet bizarre type of way without knowing that this is something, without knowing that what I was enduring was called gang stalking? And then after I find out about gang stalking by its name, I find out on the internet that repeating words and phrases is something gang stalking crimes do, including through acoustic technology, like voice to skull and shit like that. Oh, absolutely. So, and then years and years and years later, 2011, in 2006 when I was out here, they were repeating words and phrases. They were repeating, oh my God, weird and crazy, when I was out here between 1 and 38 days in 2006. Okay? They didn't repeat gang stalk because they didn't want me knowing the name of the crime I was enduring yet. Absolutely. Well, by 2011, they had already discovered, they already knew through cyber surveillance, okay, and my exposures on the internet, that I discovered what I was enduring was called gang stalking. So they just started saying gang stalking in San Diego in 2011 because they already knew I knew it. So they wanted me to, so they wanted to include, see, because you got to understand something. Gang stalking intentionally, overtly takes responsibility for what they do, for the vast majority of what they do, because they want you to know everything you're enduring is connected to this crime through repetition. Absolutely. And anchoring and sensitization, all the other dumb, demonic, dumb, vile shit they do. Oh, absolutely. Hold on. Absolutely. So, you ask yourself, consider this. Say you as a person, say if you wrote an email in 2023 saying that people are standing outside my apartment door and repeating, oh my God, okay, and why don't you call the cops and get her out of here? Then in 29, you catch evidence of somebody repeating, oh my God, why don't you call the cops and get her out of here, outside of another apartment door. Do you really think that's an accident? Think about what I'm saying. Because when you're made homeless, when you are inside your tent is considered your home. Homeless. Okay? Now, as bizarre as this craziness sounds, okay, it is the reality. Because you got to think about this with common sense. Think about what I'm saying. When you're made homeless, where if you got a tent that you use to sleep in and to maybe sit in during the day if you're too sick to get up, or maybe you got stuff that you got to do and you don't feel like being out in the open, and you're in your tent while you're homeless, your tent door is like your apartment door. It's the same concept. Okay? So what's the difference between you having an apartment and them standing outside your apartment door, and then you being homeless and then you use a tent as your home, and then them being caught saying it 30 feet from your tent door? It's the same concept. Plus the fact that gang stalk's being said is, oh my God's being said, while some of them are literally threatening to call the cops. Now here's another thing. And the night of November 12, 2022, before I left that, it was actually 2021, before I left that spot, she came right before I left. Right before, she came at I think it was around either 4:50 p.m. or 5 p.m., and it gets dark out at 5:15 p.m. So she came right before I went to go leave. Well, she did the same thing at the Octopus Street location. I was 3 days away from moving. My statements in my tape recorders, the audio files, show me openly state I should be gone by no later than Christmas. So when did she come? December 22nd. Right before I went to go move. And I literally predicted it on both dates. I said, let's see if they bring anybody to this area right before I go to move, because that's what gang stalking will do. It will create identical patterns of behaviors. Because creating anxiety about you being arrested for illegal lodging, trespass, or encroachment is something they've been doing nonstop ever since they created the homeless. Because after they created the homelessness on me in Michigan, they followed me to wooded areas and we did the same shit. They would say, oh my God, what's she doing in there? Why don't you call the cops? They were doing the same thing in Michigan. And in fact, I got one Google group forum post that openly shows me state they wait until I get into my tent and then start repeating identical harassment and threats. Okay? So, see, my fellow American citizens, when you start to see my videos that show it being stated that when you secrete adrenaline and cortisone through your adrenal glands and your stomach muscles contract from hypertension and stress created through this crime, there's a pictorial attachment in my blog that openly shows it state that some implants are activated when the victim's under distress. Okay? This video by itself already proves I'm implanted, because at the beginning of it I showed you the islands implants. How the fuck did they get in my eyes, by the way? And this video ain't jack shit compared to the, oh my God, this video ain't nothing. Now, in the upcoming video, because I'm going to consider this a video series, and I'm going to title it Identical Gang Stalking Threats and Torture from Michigan to San Diego. Okay? Because when I make videos and show you the text messages that show you the 2008 email, that show you the links to the Periscope videos and other videos that literally show bicyclists standing directly parallel to my tent at the Octopus Shoe location repeating, oh my God, gang stalk and suck dick. And by the way, they weren't the only ones that were caught. Directly parallel to it. So in other words, if you're in your tent and your tent door is less than a foot away from you, okay, and then you hear somebody standing less than 20, 30 feet away from you directly parallel to that tent door, it's the same exact identical thing that I endured in Michigan. Identical. While they're repeating gang stalking. And remember, gang stalking is the only crime that repeats identical words and phrases and threats. I didn't know about gang stalking in 2008. So why would I be writing in a 2008 email, they're repeating, oh my God, why don't you call the cops and get her out of here? Okay? And then what I heard in Rose Canyon, tweeted about it that morning. Then they sent me this text messages the same day, repeating the same type of threat. So, the reason why I made this video is because these vile whores in the police, if it wasn't for the police at the federal, state, county, and local level, okay, I wouldn't be enduring this shit. I wouldn't have endured it in Michigan. I wouldn't have endured it in Tennessee. I wouldn't have endured it in Connecticut. I wouldn't have endured it in San Diego in 2006. I wouldn't have endured it in San Diego since August 2011. If it wasn't for the police, I would not have endured one episode of torture. I wouldn't have endured the 16 of the physical assaults I've endured out here in San Diego. I wouldn't have endured this nonstop harassment. I wouldn't endure the stage complaints at libraries so they can catalog how many incidents occur and then stage another thing and then claim that, well, it's time to ban you. So we can actually take away your Wi-Fi resources and your printing capabilities so you can't prepare to go to lawyers and so you can't expose what's already happened to you, what will happen to you after we ban you, and we'll try and make it look like it's your fault. Absolutely, because when we ban you, we got to make it look like it's your fault. Otherwise, it will be noticeable that we're banning you in order to take away these resources. Same thing with fucking coffee shops, including the plazas where my post office box is at. If they ban you from that plaza, how are you going to get your fucking mail? Therefore, then, how can you attend to your Social Security review? How can you attend to your Social Services review? How can you correspond with federal student loans? How can you correspond with jury duty correspondence? So do you see what gang stalking does? It puts you out on the fucking street and then it takes away your resources. So that when they really start coming after you, you won't have nowhere to go to use Wi-Fi to expose what's happened to you, what is happening to you, and what they want to do to you. Because how are you going to expose that when you can't go to a library to fucking upload anything? Okay? And even when you're there, they hack your blog and freeze your blog so bad you can't update it anyways. Absolutely. See, what you gotta understand, because when UCSD banned me through a letter giving me no reason why they were banning me, they knew once they banned me through a threat of a $5,000 fine and arrest if I ever come back, but they didn't say why they were banning me. Why? Because I was exposing all over the internet, being gang stalked all over UCSD campus. Cyber surveillance is a method of gang stalking. They've seen it. So they said, well, we know she's got video cameras because of all the staged events when I was going there. They see me pull out the video camera. So they knew they couldn't stage a complaint or an event, because I could just say, hey, look at my tape recorder. My tape recorder shows your version of it is different from mine. My video camera shows your version is different from mine. Okay? It shows me doing nothing wrong while you're blaming me. So they knew that they couldn't do it that way, so they banned me through a letter. So since I had been banned from UCSD, I was uploading massive videos back between 2012 and 2014, which is why you don't see a lot of this audio evidence of the 9,700 audio files. Because when I go to try and put a microcard on my fucking computer to upload a video file, it says it takes 5 hours to upload a 2-minute video. Do you think maybe somebody's slowing down my data bit transfer rate? I go to upload a video through my phone. It says I uploaded it. It took 12 minutes to upload a 7-second long video this morning. Every time I've tried to upload a video at a wooded area, and even along the most of my routes, it says 3 hours to upload a 7-minute long video. So research phone hacking, phone jamming, and gang stalking. Okay? UCSD knew that once they banned me, the ones who were managing the gang stalking on me on UCSD campus, they knew they were going to continue the gang stalking on me once I got banned. But they also knew that my ability to frequently upload audio evidence and video evidence of me being gang stalked on UCSD campus and along my routes would be taken away from me. Well, now, and then they staged an event at North University San Diego Public Library in 2018, where a guy just came in. I'm sitting there at the table minding my own business, and a guy comes in, slams something down on the table right where I'm sitting at, and calls me a bitch right out in the open. I'm doing nothing wrong, just completely minding my own business. And so I called the cops on him. The cops came. He even admitted it, but yet they told me to leave. They tried to claim my behavior was inappropriate for a library. Can you believe that mind raping shit? Okay, so we're going to see if I get banned from any San Diego Public Library, including the one on Governor Road and Genesee Avenue, including before this video is uploaded. So let me show you the date, and then I got to let you go. Oh, that's a fucking lutely. It's 5:25 p.m., Monday, January 23rd. And the next time I go there, if they say they decided to ban me because of what happened there day before yesterday, it'll just be retroactive bullshit. Because they know I'm making this video through cyber surveillance. So they say, well, we'll just ban her because we know that she made this video, so we'll try and make it look like she's banned because of what happened last time she was there. They just staged an event there. First, they staged a complaint trying to imply I was smoking in the library. Total bullshit. Oh, absolutely. Okay, then they staged an altercation between me and a woman in a black and white van. Okay, when I went out to have the next cigarette break. Okay? Oh, and then they try to draw the drama out by having the librarian come up to you and ask you a gazillion questions about it. I mean, give me a fucking break. Okay? Oh, and by the way, I predicted that too in my tape recorder. I gotta let you go because I got stuff to do. So so you can consider this to be a video series. And so whenever you see another video uploaded where at the beginning of it I say the title of it that I mentioned a few minutes ago, then you're going to know that this is a those videos are a continuation of this one. Because I'm going to make some updated videos, because I've already made videos about this, showing the Instagrams of the text messages, the snap screenshots of the text messages. Let me see if I can bring up Instagram real fast. Probably won't be able to. Oh, wait a minute. No, my other phone, I can't bring it up because my other phone ain't service contract, and I don't have any, I don't think I have any snap screenshots. Oh, here it is, right here. All right, check it out. So here they are, right here. Okay, so this is the tweet made on Christmas Day, right there. Take a snap screenshot of that. Okay, see it? There it is, right there, 2014 Christmas Day. So let me show you the text message. That was the text message sent to my phone, the phone I was using back in that calendar year, at 4:12 p.m. on Christmas Day. And here's the details of that. December 25th, December 25th at 4:12 p.m. And then the video I got that I made of these text messages, so the year. the year of the detail. I forgot why the year is not able to be seen in this. I think it might have been I don't know if it was them going into the Instagram account and somehow managing so that the year couldn't be seen, but it's the same. It's it. So I got a video I got multiple videos in multiple playlists, and take a picture of this. This is the printout of the day I discovered gang stalking online. Look at it when I blow it up. There's the date of it. Okay, hold on. Let me zoom in so you can see it. Okay, so you see 0609-2009. Okay, and then right up here it says at Google typed in tactic of government and corrupt mental health, and then I wrote, finally found this, yes, with an arrow pointing where it says gang stalking caught my eye. So that basically means I typed in at Google government and corrupt mental health, and then at Google I pressed enter, and a bunch of websites came up that talk about gang stalking. And so then I said, okay, this is it right here. This is what I'm enduring. So I went and I printed it out, and then I wrote on it what I did concerning what I typed in at Google, and then I additionally wrote on it, finally found this, and then yes, like, yeah, finally found it. Okay, and then from there, okay, and then I wrote gang stalking caught my eye, and then from there I did another arrow down to the date, and there's your June 9th, 2009. Okay, absolutely. I saved this to an email file. Oh, absolutely. The day I discovered it. Absolutely. Okay. And then the 2008 email Gmail PDF file is in my blog. Attached as a Gmail PDF link. And by the way, the islands implants that I showed you earlier, when you shine a black UV light on these types of islands implants, it shows up turquoise. Well, that is exposed in the book I showed you earlier. Okay? This book right here, they're showcased in this book in that way. Okay? So I'm referring to these islands implants right here. When you shine up, and remember, bring that YouTube video up, and it talks about some of the additional features and functions of these islands implants that make your eyes a walk-in video camera. When you shine a black UV light on them, it causes the lens itself to show up as turquoise. Okay? Absolutely. And that's exposed in this book written by this scientist. She says, in the book, she says, you shine a black UV light. If you got these islands implants in you and you shine a black UV light on them, they're going to show up as turquoise, and there's a picture of it in there. Absolutely. And so the 2008 email is in my blog, and that will be exposed in the upcoming videos dedicated to this video series. I got to let you go, everybody, because I got stuff to do. Have a good day. So the statements I made about the library, and that includes me being banned from Phil's Coffee Shop and the plaza it's in, because my post office is in that plaza. I got to let you go, folks. Have a good day, everybody.